Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk about something that is important for all of us, and that is your cholesterol and glucose levels. Two very important things related to your heart, related to hypertension, diabetes, and more. And she's going to break some of that down for us and make it easier to understand as a health coach. Aarti Kumar is back with us. Aarti, welcome. How are you?
I'm fine.
Nice to have you back here. And we're going to go into some suggestions on what we can do to keep our cholesterol in check, and even supplements, things that we can take that can be helpful. Where do we start when it comes to cholesterol? Is there things that we should really understand before we even go toward supplements?
Yes, I would recommend that have less butter, less red meat in your diet for cholesterol, especially, and less salt in your daily lives.
Yeah, there's always a debate on the salt and the sodium, because a lot of our food is so processed, so it's got a lot of sodium in it, but at the same time, we also want to cook and add some. But you're saying just keep a check on it, don't overdo it.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say limit yourself as much as possible you can.
Okay, gotcha. And the red meat thing, it hurts to hear that, but I get it. It's not the best for you. Any thoughts on the number of servings of red meat would be acceptable to keep our cholesterol lower?
I would say if you're a heavy eater of red meat, try to decrease every week. Like if you have it like 4 times a week, 1 week, next time have it 3 times.
Okay.
And slowly decrease. Then I would say in a month, you won't crave for it. Like have something else instead.
I did that with sodium when I was much younger, and it's going to sound crazy. I don't even have a salt shaker in my house.
Really?
I don't. And friends will come over, let's say my friend's barbecuing with me. He's like, "Where's the salt?" I'm like, "I don't know." I don't know if I have. It's around here somewhere. I don't know, but there's no salt shaker on the table. If anything, I'll add pepper, just to add a little bit of flavor, or there's so many other spices that you can add. Once you wean yourself off of things like salt and sodium, like you said, you don't crave it. It's not easy. It takes time. Same thing with sugar. If you're, love sweets all the time, cut back a little bit more. You don't even, and I'm talking decades on the salt thing. I have not even used it, haven't added it. I have not even in a restaurant touched a salt shaker and put salt on something in probably since I was like literally a kid. I can't even think of a time I did it.
Wow.
Once you get in the habit of doing it, I think and I don't miss it. I don't need it. In fact, I find that I'm more salt sensitive now because I don't use it. So when something is a little more salty at a restaurant or whatever, like, wow, okay, that's a little salty. But yeah, to your point, if you start cutting back, eventually you won't want it.
Right. Yes, wing out of it, like for anything like sweets, salt.
Sure.
Ultimately, you're like, okay, I don't need this in my daily life.
Right, right. How about some other suggestions that you might have?
I would say you should add more vegetables
Mm.
instead of that red meat, the salty stuff you like. So yes, add vegetables more to your diet. And you could roast them and you have same amount of nutrients. So
Roasted red peppers, one of my favorite. So much flavor. And to another thought here, we're always thinking meals, like for example, dinner. You would think to have certain vegetables when you're dinner. Why can't we have them during breakfast? You can. Nobody said you can't. You should, because you're missing that component for that meal.
Yeah.
So you can add it. That's why, sometimes if somebody has let's say an omelet or something like that, there are peppers and vegetables added to it. But I think we're so programmed to think in terms of the meal, what we should be eating, where it doesn't matter. You could eat it at any time. It's okay.
Right. Vegetables are so versatile. You can make it as a breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Yeah, exactly. How about other thoughts when it comes to cholesterol?
I would recommend exercise is a big thing also because it helps you to reduce the you sweat a lot, reduce your weight. That is always helpful.
Hmm. Okay. Guidelines for working out, exercise. What are your thoughts there?
I would say if you're not exercise friendly person, I would say yes, take a walk outside for 20 minutes. A brisk walk
Mhm.
outside, outdoors. Enjoy the environment. So I would recommend that.
Okay. I have friends that have lost a good amount of weight just by walking. I have one in particular. She every evening around 7 o'clock when it cools down just a little bit, even in the summertime, she would just go for a walk, half hour, 45 minutes, maybe even walk with a friend, and just continue doing that for a few months and lost a lot of weight. And it was just fun. You felt like you're in nature again too.
Yeah, like walking is the best remedy, I would say,
Yeah.
to healthy lifestyle.
And you get more of a workout than you think. You know, a lot of us think what we have to be jogging and pounding the pavement, which is okay, but you're also beating on your knees and your legs. But
Mm-hmm.
walking can provide, even like you said, a brisk walk can provide a lot of beneficial exercise, burning calories, and so
Mm-hmm.
much more.
Yeah, like walk is you're yes, making yourself active,
Right.
going out there and all your things are moving, arms,
Mm,
legs,
mm.
everything.
That's another point. We a lot of times will park closer to a store, park further away and walk. It's okay.
Yeah.
Especially
Oh, yeah.
especially in the summertime. I get it. Maybe in the winter, bad weather. Okay. Don't take the elevator, take the stairs, whatever it might be. Yeah, very beneficial.
Yes, it is very beneficial. For example, when you mentioned parking away from the store, that helps you to motivate yourself to walk
Hmm. Yeah.
back and forth. Even carrying groceries back to your car, you're pretending you're carrying weights.
Oh, okay. Didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. And so many times I'll see people exercising and carrying weights. So that could be the groceries that you're carrying, just to add some
Mhm.
more calorie burning. What about now? We're talking about cholesterol, but also we're going to talk a little bit about glucose today.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about that. Why is that so important? Why is that on our radar? Um, all of that, because I don't know a lot about it. I just know it comes back in a blood test.
And so diabetes is a life-threatening thing if you don't take care of it. That causes heart disease, that causes retinopathy, causes um, leg to be removed.
Hmm.
So everything you need to be in check for diabetes.
What can you tell us about pre-diabetes? I've heard that before. I've even had a couple of times where they've mentioned that in a blood test. Or you could be pre-diabetic, so be careful what you're eating. Is that a major concern?
Yes, that means you are in the borderline of having diabetes and watch your diet. And if you are pre-diabetic, yes, be careful what you eat and make sure you're not exceeding that A1C, that number.
Okay. Yeah. Which I don't even know what that number means. I just always hear it. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the pre-diabetic number, or is that the number that can tell whether you have diabetes in general?
That tells you you're diabetic or not.
Okay. Wow. Oh,
So that if you have between 5 to 6, the number, that is the perfect number. But if you have above 6, that is
hmm.
kind of, you're a diabetic person. You need to be careful with your diet, your regimen, everything.
So if you're pre-diabetic, the number comes back a little higher. Can you change your diet and exercise and then bring that number down?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. You can change your lifestyle completely, and you can, do perfect about it.
So you also have, I believe, supplements that you want to show us. You want to take a look at that today? That can help us with both of the things we're talking about?
Yes, I have a balance supplement. Sorry, balance, and that is super for hypertension and diabetes.
Hmm. And this is something you add to water?
Yes, I would say a 6 to 8 glass of water. You can put it in a shaker bottle, and yes, have a plain water, 8 ounces of water, and put this whole packet in there. Yes, shake it up and drink it right before your meal, heavy meal. If it's dinner or if it's lunch, just take it.
And what does this do for you?
It helps absorb the nutrients that you like. It's an underlining glue type. It helps you digest the food.
Okay. All right. So if you take that before meals, it's going to help you absorb the food better.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. We have a you have a PowerPoint we're going to take a look at.
Yes. Mhm. Here's a 7 mechanisms of balance. And one is it reduces your appetite. Like, for example, you have a big meal in front of you, and like, you want to eat it, but the soft gel solution, you can shake it up and drink it, and it helps you decrease your flow of appetite.
Gotcha. Okay.
The second mechanism is it absorbs and removes fat by it helps you go to bowel movement next day.
So it almost sounds, Artie, that it's kind of flushing out your system.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right.
Really, it helps you just flush out everything, removes fat, removes any bad organisms in your system, parasites. It also promotes your body fat burning ability. That shows how you burn fat, basically. For example, being able to reduce body size, reduce blood lipids, and reduce blood glucose. Yes, it's a full package.
Gotcha.
And,
Wow.
and it's another mechanism is good is it regulates your blood sugar. If in case you're craving for that chocolate pie after dinner, heavy meal, it really helps you digest it. I would recommend eat 2-3 bites though, but it helps you digest it, and then you won't see that high numbers next day.
Wow. Okay.
And then it lowers your triglycerides for your hypertension. That's a really good signal. And then, of course, it improves your cholesterol levels. And then it decreases the leptin resistance too. That is when it's like leptin is when it's communication between your fat cells and your brain. So it decreases that.
And
So
I guess if it's communicating that way, you're not going to crave food like you did. And I can say, based on my experience, if you eat too many sweets, you will increase your triglycerides substantially. I've had that happen. Um, Short story here, but I I was working a lot, eating protein bars, thinking, all right, this is good for me. It'd be time for lunch. Oh, I don't have time for lunch. Let me just grab a protein bar. Well, they're loaded with sugar. That's really all like that. That's it. There's sugar and some protein. Had no idea. Thought I was doing the right thing at the time. And this is going back about maybe 10 years or so ago. I get a call from the doctor and they say, you need to come in. I'm like, why? Just you need to come in here. What's going on? Well, it turns out that my triglycerides went way up. And I was only eating those protein bars for maybe 3 weeks, maybe six at the most. And they have so much sugar in them, and sugar just affects your triglycerides so much that it spiked it up. So all I did was cut back on that, exercise a little bit, eat properly, and got that level down. But just that was my wake up call that what sugar can do in your diet and how that can increase your triglyceride level.
yes, like it happens to everyone. Like
Yeah.
if you don't pay attention what you do daily lives, you need to like it's alarming when you go for a simple blood test and oh, you find out you're a diabetic. You find out oh, you're like you have high blood pressure. So it's an alarming thing. You need to be aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah. Absolutely. So those are the 7 mechanisms of balance within your system that can be balanced with balance. And this stuff, I know we're going to take a look at something else for a second here, but this is something that's available through you.
Yes.
Okay.
You can contact me, email me, or call me any way I can order that for you.
Gotcha. Great. Now I want to take a look at the other screen you have.
Yes. So this is we're comparing between regular medications to this balance packet. If you can see with the medications, there's so many side effects. You have to have so many precautions. For example, monitor your liver function before and during therapy. Like when you take the medicine, you have to monitor your liver. If you have liver disease, chronic alcohol use, all of these precautions you have to make sure when you take the regular medicine for the hypertension or diabetes. But for example, if you just take this balance, it helps you, vice versa. It helps you to have a good high total cholesterol, high, it helps you with the bad cholesterol, good cholesterol, and it helps with the A1C, everything. It helps you with constipation, reflux. There's so many good things about this product.
Yeah, there's a lot here, and it's so simple. How many times do you do it before each meal, or some meals, or what?
So I would recommend before having a heavy meal, like if you're eating out with a friend and it's like a friend's birthday and you see your plate, it's so like so heavy on red meat, so heavy on potatoes, everything, and you are diabetic, you're not allowed to eat that in your regular regime. So I would recommend, yes, take a balance and don't worry. And, next day you won't see your numbers skyrocketing.
Wow.
Mhm.
And I'm just reading on here. So interactions, I see grapefruit juice. Is that normal medications or is that an interaction with balance?
That's with regular medicines.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have all of this stuff. You don't have to worry about the interaction, the side effects, or any of that with balance.
Right. If you see there's no precautions, no interactions, so, like it's such a clean product.
Right. Wow.
Mhm.
And yeah, I try not to take any kind of medication unless I absolutely have to, just for that reason, because there's interactions, there's challenges with it, and would like to just stay away from that for sure. Let's talk about how we can get this and give it a try. Aarti, how do we reach you?
So you can email me, Aarti K. Kumar at gmail.com, or you can go to my website to order it. My website is aartikkumar.com. And then you can call me, feel free to call me at 678-230-3779.
And just tell everybody here that Aarti is spelled Aarti, then the letter K, and Kumar, KUMAR.com. So Aarti, Kumar.com. And even if somebody has a question about the product too, they could do that as well. They could reach out to you and learn some more about it, right?
Yeah, they can feel free to email me with questions, and I would like to talk to them, and if they're concerned about anything about this product, I will be there for
Sure. Yeah, interesting that something like this exists, and it's not like taking a medication, and it can do so many things in terms of your blood sugar and your cholesterol. And of course, if somebody wants to reach out to you in terms of as a health coach and questions there, you can answer those as well and work with somebody on that front.
Yes.
Okay.
And I can help them with their meal planning, with anything they're struggling with. I'm there for them.
Okay. Last question, most important one. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Does balance come in different flavors?
No, it's yes, orange.
Okay. All right. Didn't even know, but orange is great with me. Wow. All right, Aarti, thank you very much for enlightening us and sharing that today. And yeah, cholesterol is so important. Glucose levels are so important. It's nice to know there's a product out there that can take care of it, and you can help us out with that. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Appreciate it. All right.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.